Hi all, right, back with more Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection, Scenario 4, Iron Eagle. Now, I've got part 5 and part 6 already made. It was all done yesterday, on Saturday. This is Sunday. And I've only started watching over a little bit of that, because at first, part 5, I thought my frustrations were still there. Also felt like I might have been getting on at the guys that are trying to help me a little with the comments. They just weren't gelling with me. But I think I've said already. Apologies if I came across in the wrong way there. Just again getting frustrated. However, when we got into part 6 and we started sort of just moving on with things, I felt better about it. And I think we'll just keep going. And obviously, the longer left before these earlier episodes, earlier parts are seen, the more chance of mistakes that I can't fix. However, these are individual scenarios, and like I've also said, I don't think one of them requires a success to carry on in the next scenario. So in that kind of way, it's not, well, it is a campaign, I suppose, but you can fail at one mission and move on to another. We've not seen any rules saying that you need to succeed to move on. So with that in mind, and if we are making mistakes regarding this whole Sam situation, if we aren't quite getting it right, I feel like I'm better with it now, but that's no guarantees. So if we aren't quite getting it right and we get to the end of the scenario and we've done it all wrong, then we can just put it down to one of them. Whether I go and redo it again, I don't think it's worthwhile recording a redo of it, whether I go and play it myself or not. More than likely, I'd probably just move on to the next scenario, I think. One of the comments from Mike, I think, had said, sorry, I've not got round to responding to any of these comments yet. They're all going to pile up on me as well, which is a bit of a shame, but I will try and get around to some of them. It's the sort of thing I'd like to be able to do on the train on the way to work, or while I had a break at work, but using a tablet to do reply to comments and copy and paste, it's a pain. So it's better done on the computer. I guess some of you out there can probably deal with that without any issues, but it's a bit more of a burden to me. A mouse and a keyboard required for me. That's not that I've not done it that way, but anyway, yeah, I'm sorry where I got off on one there. Mike had said that he felt that scenario 4 was maybe the last step up in the rules, and I haven't looked at scenario 5, what it brings in. I mean, my guess is there's still some things to come in, but I suppose when you think about it, what else is left once you've got jamming done? Yeah, so it might just sort of settle down now. We might move into scenario 5 and find out that we've done everything that we're getting to do in that scenario. We've done it all. That's maybe not true fully, because I'm sure Howard, with that post that he's got, that thread regarding what you need to look at for the next scenario, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of stuff in each one. But anyway, I think Mike was kind of suggesting this is the peak of the hard stuff, and it maybe it's going to go all downhill from here, or uphill, or whatever it is. It's all going to go in a good way from here. So hopefully that's right. Right, so I'm going to just push on. We've moved all our flights, and I was going to go and finish the turn last night, but because I realised that we do have SAM location and SAM acquisition, some stuff to do in the phases, I thought I'd just leave it to start this part. So this is part, what did I say, I had 5, 6, this will be part 7 then, yeah. Okay, well, I'll take all the cubes off, because all the flights have moved, and we'll move on to the SAM, no, we'll move on to the fuel phase. We've not done that yet, that's right. So we'll move on to the fuel phase, right. Okay, so fuel phase, well, none of their flights have dashed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we've got 4 flights have dashed. The only one that's not is the Jammer, the Raven flight. So I'll mark off a fuel point for all the rest. Okay, that's that done. So now on to SAM location, right. 15.13, SAM location. Try to locate unlocated SAMs. Right, and the only one that we can locate, if we've got things right, is this guy up here now, because yeah, I'd left things off last night and I was watching back some of the stuff I was talking about. Are these meant to be switched off until they activate, then they switch on? And I still think that might be the case. And I remember finishing off last night talking about the fact that because this is trying to allow some of the more fog of war, the dark blue defection, it would be nice to have had some specific counter or something that said that. But I suppose it might be possible that I've got this wrong and these are still meant to show the onside. If they are meant to show the offside, I think that would have been far more easier. I would have grasped things a bit quicker, I think. Or if they'd been marked in some other way or something. But I know no new counters came with the Darkwood defection. Obviously the guys at Howard and his crew that dealt with that. It's all cards, planning out things and the rules and yeah, I mean it's a good bundle of stuff. It is, don't get me wrong, without trying to add counters, but I dare say there was maybe not a need for it. I mean, maybe you can mark these in a way that you understand them better, you know. But anyway, right. So I think so we can have a go at locating this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. Cobra's 1 now. Line of sight and SAM detection. Yeah. So roll for each unlocated SAM. Yeah, so my guess is we only get to try this once. We do have maybe 2 flights that could, but this is the same. You're not able to do that. At least I think that's right. Try to locate unlocated SAMs. Yeah. But let me find the play raid card for that. Yeah, so play raid card 2. Yeah, we've looked at this a few times, haven't we? And this is when I realised that my base range is probably going to be 8 anyway, and that's the number we need to do to activate them and find out if they're a real SAM or a dummy. Anyway, so yeah, so it's our F-16. The actual fact our F-15 only has a range of, he's got a B rating, so he's only got a range of 4, so he cannot actually. But our F-16s have the C RWR rating, so they get a range of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he is in range. So we're going to get, well, sorry, he's in range because we've got our RWRC, and we're going to get a +3 modifier to this. We roll on this. Hold on. Line of sight from non-sword or aim flight to SAM required. Base range is 3 hexes. Oh, okay, but the RWR modifies base range. So hang on, is this? Yeah, that must be the modified range. It's not. We don't add 3 onto that, do we? No, I don't think so. No, but we would add a +5 also if there'd been a SAM launch from that, from the SAM, regardless of the RWR. Yeah, okay. So we've got a +3 to this roll, and we need to roll a 10 or greater. Yeah, so up there it's just 1 die roll, obviously. So this is Saint Flight trying to locate the SAM Warn. Rolling 1 dice, we've got a +3 modifier, we need a 10, here we go. I've rolled a 4, so that's only 7, so it's not detected. And if that had been detected, I would then take that SAM Warn marker off, and then we would just expose the SAM. So now we've got, yeah. Well, now we're going to move into acquire, aren't we? And it's going to acquire, well, one of us, either the Saint Flight or Cobra Flight. But actually, Saint Flight's unidentified. Saint Flight's, it's not unidentified. What is it? Or did my terminology again? It's undetected, that's it. Whereas Cobra is detected. So, might need to look at that. But I think we missed a step. I think we've got the track phase in between. Oh yeah, so this could be relevant. So, there's still nothing at deck, is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nothing at deck. So we're going to check the track phase and roll for... Let's just roll for the war. We'll roll for us guys first. On the C column. Yeah, C column. Yeah, that's right. Rolled 11 on the C column. It's a diamond in curly brackets. So we are on our side at the front. I don't think we're at anybody at low altitude though, is there? No. Was he a diamond? Oh, he was as well. But he's at medium altitude. Oh, actually, he's not. He's not. He's just on the other side of the front anyway. But anyway, it needs to be at low, doesn't it? Results of curly brackets apply to any flight on the deck, any flight at low on its own side of the front, and any flight in the chaff corridor. So, no, that doesn't apply. So we'll roll for the Warsaw Pack flights on the D column. Oh, we rolled a 3. That's probably good for them. Right, it's a spade. So if they've got any spades, they're going to become undetected. I'm pretty sure that A and B flight are diamonds, aren't they? Oh, well, Grant, they're undetected anyway. Yeah, there's a spade that's detected. So D flight is going to go undetected again. And yeah, that's it. So in actual fact, 2, 4. Where's the other one? Ah, yeah. He's got, oh, no, the MiG-21 as well. Oh, that's a bummer. He's a spade as well. He's going to go undetected. Okay, not so good. Well, we get plenty of chances to detect them. And we've got Cobra flight sitting there looking at that. So a radar, a radar check for that. Where does it go? It's on the spine, isn't it? How does it, when it's sitting on the spine, I can't quite work out the angle. That's it there. Yeah, the beam's kind of harder to track that. So it kind of goes out. I'm pretty sure it still gets that flight. I would double check it, but if we need to. Right, that's the track phase done then. Right, so on to the SAM acquisition phase. Switch on radars, attempt quick acquisition. SAM units attempt to acquire or maintain acquisition on enemy flights. So that's 15.21. Right, we're at that bit. Okay, so here we are, SAM acquisition. Well, we know what SAM it is. It's the one we've just tried to locate. So, now, well, actually, I need to know what it's going to target. Its range... Right, hang on. 1, 2... Right, let's go back and look at the map first. Right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes to him. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes to him. Remember, he can consider, because we are the target this time, he's the non-target flight. He can say he's in that hex rather than that hex, which makes it 1 hex closer. Right, 6, 7. So 7 to that, 6 to that. Now, where does it decide SAMs? Well, I'll just kind of read this. I'm not going to swing around again to this. I've got that other chart up there. SAM acquisition. When there are multiple SAMs, no. It's not when there are multiple SAMs. Is a flight acquired already? No. So no flight acquired. Attempt to acquire nearest detected enemy flight in acquisition range without acquisition. Yeah, that's the thing. He obviously, I don't think can. Oh no, they can actually acquire undetected flights, but it's quite a bit harder. So he's going to go for the closest. He's going to attempt to acquire the nearest detected enemy flight in acquisition range without acquisition marker. Nearest detected flight in range with one acquisition marker. This is the kind of priorities. Nearest undetected. Right, so, but we are able to do the first one, which is nearest detected enemy flight without an acquisition marker. And his acquisition, the acquisition range is 14, sorry. Well, actually, right then, he can maybe go further than that then, can't he? He could actually come down to Silver Fox here, couldn't he? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right. Sorry, I'm pushing on there to see if he could get a slam, but he can't. That's just out the range. So I guess Silver Fox is in this, but these are both detected. This is the nearest one. So it is Cobra. It is going to be Cobra. Right, so that he's going to try and acquire. Okay. In all cases, randomly select if multiple enemy flights at same distance. Well, we're not at the same distance. Although Silver Fox detected, it's further away. Right. So let's look back at the acquisition chart then. Right, so here we are. So this is a 2 dice roll. Now, so the target is detected. So this is a column that they'll be rolling on. It's not acquired yet, remember, but it is detected. So the result we are looking for is a less than or equal to 2 from 2d10, remember. However, right, target defensive jamming strength, not applicable if burn through applies. Okay. Well, I think all our jammers, I'll just swing round. This is a Cobra, isn't it? So I'll swing round and look at F15. Right, his jamming strength it's got the D, which means they can only get the burn through one if it's in noise. If it's got the N, I think. Is it noise? I can't remember what the D stands for as well. But all our flights are D. So that burn through thing was never going to happen. I think it needs to be closer as well. So our defensive jamming strength is a 3. Okay, so that's a -3 to start with for us. Just hold a dice here just to hold a 3 because, right, let's come back to the standoff spot jamming strength just to make sure. I don't think this is going to apply because, like I said, that SAM, I think it's outside. Whether I've been silly with my placement, I think I might have been. No, I definitely haven't I? Why didn't I think about that? Right, we'll come on and look at it in a minute anyway. Target on the deck, no. EO tracking, no. Lock on after launch, no. Flight conducted anti-radar tactics, no. Quick acquisition detected only, no. Target and traffic corridor. So the only one is a -3 there. And there would be an extra to the standoff spot jamming. However, Grant has kind of foolishly pointed the jamming up that way. So the 60 degrees, it starts up this line of hex sides, goes right up there, and it just misses that. That needs to be inside that arc for us to benefit. Now, my take also on that is, we've got it spot jammed. No, we've not. We would have a marker on this saying that the jamming strength, if we caught that in our 60 degree angle, which we've not, just by one hex, right? If we did, however, we would have a jamming strength of, I don't know what, it depends on the range, doesn't it, Grant? What range is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, it's just one outside the full, the 16, which is unfortunate. So it would be a strength of 2. So we would have this marked with a 2, right? Now we don't have it spot jammed, whereas this one we do, we've spot jammed that. Now next turn we would be able to maybe spot jam that. However, again, this has only just appeared, because this is only just activated when we moved our flights this turn. So it was after the jamming phase to be able to spot jam, right? Okay, but the other thing that would apply here, and again, this isn't counting, I'm only just saying that if we had done it properly, I think, we would have had that inner 60-degree arc, right? However, this would then get halved, because my belief is that he's acquiring this flight here, so it's that flight. So he brings a 60-degree arc down there like that, and then like that, to cover that. And that arc, within that arc, our jamming flight is not within that arc. So because of that would half the strength down to 1. Well, tell me if I've got that wrong, guys. But again, like we say, this is just outside that arc anyway, so there's no jamming. There's no jamming on that, standoff jamming on that at all, unfortunately. And yeah, I feel a bit foolish, because I think that I should have known that was probably the first SAM that was going to appear. I think that's why I was kind of hoping that it was a dummy in the end, because my standoff jamming marker's not really in. And if I just set that like that would have pretty much taken care, and it would have taken care of most of the other stuff on the map as well. But so there you go. Well, that's something to learn from. So I'm pointing up that row of hexes, and then 60 degrees goes out. Right, so we don't get enough for that. So it's a -3 just for his defensive jamming strength of the flight. So it's unlikely we're going to survive this, because we need, like I say, a lesson or 2. However, we could maybe get away with a partial acquisition. So 2 dice with a -3. Oh dear. I've rolled 16, so that's 14. So that is greater than 11, so that is a full acquisition. So we take the full acquisition marker for that SA11, and it's lettered F, isn't it? Yeah. And again, my understanding is that's still unlocated. It's still got that warm marker on top. So then no, it's not Saint, it's Cobra here. So he's got the full acquisition from that SAM. There we go. So next, well, I'm saying next turn. No, it just needs to move now, doesn't it? Yeah, it just needs to spend a movement point, and then it can get shot. Well, hang on, Grant, though. SE11s. Oh yeah, they do have a range. Remember, they've got that long range. They've got long range up to 10, and this is the one John Brown house ruled. And I think fairly, when I realised it was he done it once per turn, rather than go, check long range more than once a turn. I think that's quite a good idea. I'm pretty sure I'll do that if and when we get to that. Well, I think we'll be getting to it reasonably soon, to be honest. Right, so that's only SAM acquisition. The rest are, yeah, fine. Okay, so then in the admin phase, nothing to do. And I know this parachute would land in so many turns, but again, let's just say that it's on their side of the front comes down there and it goes up there, so it's on their side of the front, and he parachuted out safely, so let's just say that he's landed his crew, and that's it. He's safe, he's away, it's not in any danger. Right, any other markers to come off them? Oh, do all the jamming markers come off? Well, wait a minute. Have we got anything else? We've got a BVR avoid, that stays on. We've got max turn, that stays on. The acquisition stays on. Yeah, so what about the jamming ones, actually? Yeah, I think they stay on, don't they? Yeah, that's it. They stay on, yeah. That's fine. Okay, so that's the end of turn. We move on to turn 3. Remember, there is only 10 turns, so... Yeah, I can't believe I set that jamming right down that way. Because I'm going to move further down, and it's going to get worse. Okay, right, never mind. Right, I'm going to push on. I've still got a bit of time. We're only at 25 minutes. And the good thing was nobody's seen these last two parts, so can't make any comments. It's just I spend an awful long time, I've noticed, going over the comments, but they are important to go over, and I need to understand things and see where I went wrong, etc. Right, so roll for a bent. Roll 12. I've got the feeling that might be one that doesn't happen again. No, it's not. It's 11. It was 11. So 12 will get looked at anyway. Where is it? Okay, 12 is a mechanical failure. So roll 1d a 10, 1 to 5, Warsaw Pack 6 to 10, NATO, but I don't think we need to do that. It's only if there was damaged or crippled aircraft out there. That's quite a brutal one, that, though, if you did have, in particular, crippled aircraft. So, yeah, we have none of that. We did get a result in shooting one flight down, didn't we? Did I mark that off, actually? I did, yes. Sorry, one aircraft down. Right, so no event. So on to jamming. Right. Ooh. Right, I didn't think about that. I'm just reading that each player NATO first places or adjusts standoff and or spot jamming markers. So can I adjust that after making what I felt was a bit of a blunder? So flight's tasked with standoff jamming. Standoff jamming marker is placed on the jamming flight's counter and jamming phase. In most cases can be pointed. The marker moves with the flight. Do not change the direction of the marker. Standoff jamming markers may not be placed on a flight during the jamming phase that is disordered. Right, hang on. Well, I'm not seeing where it says I can adjust it. Right, it does say that in the sequence of play. Places or adjusts standoff and or spot jamming marker. Right, hang on. I think that could possibly mean things that you've got targeted, and it means adjust by like adjusting the strength maybe. But then again, you would think you might be able to do that. Right, let me see. Okay, I'm not finding any in the rules about that. And then I started thinking I'm going to look for something in BGG and then maybe even ask a question, and I'm thinking, you know, being a bit daft here, Grant, because I mean, surely I can adjust this in this phase, and then with that adjustment, I mean, if I had made a turn, this would have dropped off, and then I'd be able to replace it and adjust that. But however, well. I don't know then. Maybe I'm not allowed to do this once I've set it. But then I could just turn my aircraft next turn and it'll fall off, and then I can set it again. But I suppose that's still going to cancel it out at the end of, well, to be honest, I move this aircraft last at the end of this turn, make a turn with it so it falls off so I can then place it. Surely I'm able to adjust this now. I mean, standoff jamming marker is placed on the jamming flight's counter in the jamming phase, and in most cases can be pointed in any direction. The direction of the arrow on the marker defines the standoff jamming arc. The marker moves with the flight. Do not change the direction the marker is pointed as the flight moves. Standoff jamming markers may not be placed on a flight during the jamming phase that is disordered. Well, I'm not 100% sure. It feels like it's kind of common sense that I should be able to. We've went into the jamming phase, so now we decide what way we're going to point our standoff jamming, and then adjust accordingly to anything that we've got marked as being in the range. Because if I do point in a different direction, it might affect. Maybe it is worth a question. Maybe a daft question, but well, you know what? Okay, I went and popped the question out there, so there's no harm in that, I suppose. It's just in case it is something. I mean, it doesn't seem to say either way, so maybe it's just left as common sense, and people that know how these things actually work better maybe think, well, yeah, you just adjust it slightly in your next jamming phase, but maybe not though. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll leave it. I'll hopefully get this answer. It's a simple enough question, which I'd like to think I get an answer back reasonably quickly. But if I can adjust it, then I think clearly I want to turn it that way. So it's then going it's pointing directly up the spine of the hex. And that way the 60 degrees will come out like, how does that go again? I looked at that recently, did we not? So we're looking up the spine. No, we're looking up the spine. We're not on the spine. Yeah, it's looking up the spine, that's it. So it goes 60 degrees, it goes halfway through that row of hexes, and then halfway through that row of hexes. Which I just get the feeling that looks better, because that's going to take my arc right up there. Admittedly, there's nothing up in here to worry about, and I suppose that's why I was wanting to point it more this way, but if we are able to adjust it every turn in the jamming phase, then obviously that's going to be good, because then I can move it accordingly. But if I'm not, then it means I'm going to have to spend, what are the flight voluntary turns, the flight dives to a lower altitude. While we're there, I misquoted what Mike was saying, and I'll hopefully add a wee comment about that, Mike, in the part that I talk about. What I should have done was look back in your comment. I was just doing it off the top of my head, thinking that's what you meant. What he means was, it says that the jamming marker would fall off if the flight dives to a lower altitude. Now, dive is not the same as descend. Well, it's two different things anyway. Diving means spending a movement point to move to any lower altitude band, and descend is a free thing that allows you to, we could move our flight one hex that way and descend one band freely. And also climbing, it doesn't say anything about climbing. So we could actually climb, we could spend the movement point to climb. But I think if you want to spend the movement point to dive, but Mike did wonder about that. I think he left it out there as if to say, according to what the rule says, it looks like you could actually descend an altitude band. However, that's going from medium to low, and then we can't do the jamming. So, but his point was that, and in fact, was he even talking about jamming? I'm starting to wonder. It might have been, was it possible for the AAA fire? Maybe it's worded the same though, it's just me seeing that there. Well, let me see the AA fire. I know we're all over the place now. You know what? I should really get Mike's comment up and discuss it in the proper way. Make sure I know exactly what bit he's talking about, I think. Okay. Right, so anyway, if I'm allowed to do it, I've moved it just now. I can always move it back. We know it's a 30 degree turn further that way, if it has to be. But that enables me to, with my 60 degree arc, to be up there and then right up this hex row here, which takes in this, and this stuff in the middle. Maybe it doesn't catch that one. I No, I don't think it was catching that one or that one. Does it still catch the EWR? Think so. Yeah, easily. Yeah, it's still got that. So their numbers are still the same. We've still got the spot jam in there. And, well, with me now doing that, that sets up this, and what did I say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's just outside. So with me doing that, that actually now turns that into a jamming strength of 2 we've got on that. Now, none of these other things are activated yet, so we can't look at that. And if we, in fact, we'll do that right now. Right, I've got an A, spot jams. Right, it's the A's we were wanting, wasn't it? Yeah, of course. So I took 2 of these out. So we're also going to do spot jamming on that, which then means that doubles up to a 4. I don't know if I should be turning that to double it up or leaving the spot jamming on it and leaving it at a 2, but I think when it comes to looking at it, I would just double check that I've got the right strength. So a 4 strength for that. So now next time, well, no, he's already acquired us, isn't it? But if we had that on the last turn, then it would have been a -7 to his roll, because it's a minus. No, it wouldn't have been, Grant. Because again, this is going to half, because we are not in its 60-degree arc when it's checking the flight. That's it. But when it goes to fire, this will affect it as well. So that's why it's important. Hopefully I'm allowed to do that. We'll see. I'll check as we move on through the minutes here, just in case somebody's standing by to quickly update me on that one. Okay, so, well, I think that would be all in the jamming phase, wouldn't it? Places or adjusts standoff and our spot jamming markers. So, yeah, it's just the way it's worded there. I thought, oh, wait a minute. But it could be that it means adjusting these standoff, what are they called? Jamming strength markers, mind you. And that's the marker that's standoff jamming. So, yeah. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does allow me to adjust that then. Okay, detection phase. Roll to detect. Right. Well, we've lost 2 of them went undetected, didn't they? So, right, let's look at our guys first. Again, there's still nobody at low. They have an EWR. Right, that will come into it when we go, because we've got some jamming strength on that. Right, so for our flights, we have 1, 2, 3 that are detected. Yeah. So we've got Saint and Condor, the jamming flight, that are undetected. So let's roll for Saint. Just a standard detection here on the C column. No modifiers, needs a 12. Ooh, rolled 18. So Saint is detected. And then Condor, which is our jamming flight, again, no modifiers. We've rolled 12, that's bang on, isn't it? Yeah, so it gets Condor as well. Okay, so that's all our flights detected now. Right, well, there's no need for them to do any more detection attempts with the EWR, in fact. Yeah, okay. Right, let's go up, way up top for A and B flight. Again, no modifiers to any of these. We're rolling on the D column, so we need a 13 for flight A. Rolled a 9, that's no good. Flight B. Rolled 15 for flight B, so he is detected. Oops. Is it higher? Okay. And then moving down. So C is already detected. Flight D, need a 13. I've rolled 14, so he is detected as well. And then maybe the two more important ones are, well, we'll do flight F first. So no modifiers, needs 13. Rolled 8, so this is probably the more important one. No, so for the Hess flight, no modifiers. 12. Damn. What's 13 now? Yeah, right, okay, so can we... Right, Cobra's got Hess in its front arc anyway. So we should be able to... Oh, hang on. Is it visual? No. Not within 4, no. Right, where are we, Grant? We're looking for radar search, 10.22. I just like to get the rule up though as well. 10.22. I think it needs to be in our front arc, doesn't it? I looked at this yesterday thinking it didn't, and it does. Yes. And it's within range, so we're looking at Hess. We're not going to get flight. The F flight's not going to be in, is it? Well, actually. Well, this is the one we're sitting on the spine. Like I say, it's kind of awkward to... So it's sitting on the spine. So basically... it goes out like that, sort of. Yeah, I think it misses the F flight. I really wish I had that wee laser pen thing. No idea where it is. I think it must be in one of my game boxes. But interestingly though, I had a look in a couple of the boxes that I thought I might have been using it and I couldn't find it. So maybe it's not. I'm going to order another one actually. I don't think they were terribly expensive. I think it could be useful for just checking these. Be easier for me anyway. Right, so F flight's not, but Hess flight is. So we're going to do a radar check. Now some modifiers to this, isn't there? Range to target's alright. So 20 plus would give the -1. Well, we're well within that. Target in different altitude band. Yes, we're at high, he's at low, so we got a -1 for that. Target at deck, no. Target at deck, no. Searching flight and B mark of target. Don't think so. I think he's in our front arc. Here we're going again. Right, what am I looking? I'm looking at the side of the hex there. Yeah, so it just goes up there and then there. Yeah, he's in our... We're in his front arc, so there's no negative modifier there. So there's just the -1 in the altitude, and we're rolling on the F15 column, so we need a 10. We've got a -1 though. I rolled 5, -1's 4, but we do have track wheel scan, so we'll try it once more. 11, -1's 10, spot on. Just. Okay, well that could have been quite important because I'd like to be able to maybe... Well, the fact he's a real flight, we know it's something we can go for, eh? So, good. Okay, so that's detection done. Well, hang on. You had another flight with a radar, Grant. Was it? Which one is it? Is it is the F-16s. So the range is 16. So we've got Saint there. These are both detected though. There's one undetected away up top, but that's definitely not in our front arc. And then we've got F flight, which isn't in Saint's front arc. And look at Silver Fox's turned round, so yeah, it's just missing, isn't it? It's going to go along that. It's just missing. So he's not in his front arc either. So okay. Well, we can't check them. So that's detection done then. What's next? Movement. Right. 44 minutes. Yeah, we're okay-ish. Right, well, let's see who's getting the initiative. 1 to 6, it's NATO. Rolled an 8, so it's worse a pack again. We're getting initiatives quite a lot nowadays. So we draw a chip for them. One in the large, it's probably a 0. It is a 0. So put that back, shuffle them up over to us now. I kind of at the stage where I maybe like to have seen maybe one. Well, maybe not true, because maybe Dan I want Cobra and maybe have another go at that MiG-21. Yeah, I probably do. So a 3 in the large, so it's at least a 1 show. Oh, it's the 3 in the 3. Ooh, okay, that's good. So we can move 3 of our 5 flights. More than likely going to be, yeah, I think there's going to be a bit happening here, aren't there? Things are going to happen. Cobra, my guess is probably going to have another go at the MiG-21, because he never burnt his BVR weapons, the long range ones. And Silver Fox, I think he'll probably move down and find out about these 2 flat markers. And Saint may well. Oh yeah, Cobra's got to watch, because Cobra's acquired, isn't he? So yeah, I'm just sort of thinking how it works, and the fact that if I make a movement now, he can attempt to fire at me. He is going to be at long range, I think. However, we could maybe get Saint trying to take that out. Yeah, I need to think about this a bit, I think. So, is it possibly a time? I didn't have an awful lot of time just now. Is it possibly a time maybe to think I'll just stand down here and maybe just cut this as a small part? Possibly. I'm going to put that there with that. To say we've got 3 activations. It's our turn. And I think I might. I know it's maybe not. Well, we didn't really talk about too much. At least we've done things this time. I'm going to have a quick look and see if I might have got a quick response to that. It'd also be nice to know about that before we do, because, yeah, in actual fact, that could be relevant, because if I am allowed to do that, these jamming markers are on that, I think. If I'm not allowed to do that, they'll not be there, so that could well have an effect on things. So yeah, I think I might just cut it there, because I've not got that much. I could probably have spent another 10 minutes, but I think there's a bit more in this turn, actually. Yeah, maybe a bit optimistic to think somebody might have answered that already. So maybe another reason just to cut this part now. And I'll get to watch a bit of this. Travelling in and home on the train tomorrow for work. So I'll get to watch some of my stuff back and hopefully get a bit of it out there to you, and we can see what more comments come in. Hopefully tell me, yeah, you've got it all right, Grant. You've got a grasp of things now. Yeah, well, we'll see. Right, okay, well, I'll be back with the next part. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. But whenever I get the chance. Okay, cheers.